Well, let's take a look at what is happening in the markets, and we start off with the local bourse, and it is another day and more gains for the JSE. Of course, also getting a good handover from the Asian markets. This as investors digested the latest trade data from China for April. We did have their imports surprising to the upside and a growth in export meeting analyst expectations. So looking at how the all share has performed here with a gain of almost 0.5%, those gains largely coming from the resources 10 complex there, as that index climbed more than 1.5%, followed by the industrial 25 with an advancement of more than 0.5%. But backing that overall trend is the financial 15, they're shedding almost a fifth of 8%. Let's take a look at what is happening stateside, and over there markets digesting some economic data that could affect the direction of monetary policy. We did have weekly jobless claims surging to their highest level since August there, with investors now starting to talk more about an interest rate cut from the Fed. We also did get some results. Airbnb there, although it did beat on earnings in its quarterly results, it did post a weaker guidance there. We did have its shares falling, but a sea of green over there. The S&P 500 with a gain of almost 0.4%, tech heavy Nasdaq advancing almost 1/3%, and the Dow climbing almost 0.5%. Let's take a look at what is happening with markets across the Atlantic, and of course markets over there are digesting a central bank decision. We did have the Bank of England holding interest rates steady as expected. Optimistic sentiment over there as well. FTSE 100 with a gain of more than 1/3%. The CAC 40 there climbing almost 0.7%, and an advancement in the DAX of more than 1%. Let's take a look at how the currency scene is doing, starting off with how the rand is doing against some of the major currencies. Some strength coming through to the rand. Of course, I think the last time I saw where the rand was trading yesterday, it was at around 18 rand 60.65. Now back at 18 rand 48 against the US dollar. Against the pound at 23 rand 13, and against the euro at 19 rand 92. Let's take a look at how the other currency pairs are doing, starting off with the euro dollar remaining steady at 1.07, pound dollar at 1.25, and the yen coming there with a little bit of weakness against the US dollar, just below 156 against that currency.